and welcome back to Building with the Boys. It's very early on a Sunday morning here. I mean, it's still dark outside. But I've got a marathon session of routemaster to do. So I've fallen behind because of work and other things at the moment. So I've got pack 10 and pack 11 here, which need building. So I am going to do the lot. I'm going to play through both today. They will be in two separate videos. So in pack 10, we will be pretty much completing the structure of the bus, where we'll be adding the top deck to the lower deck, and we'll also be attaching the roof to the top deck. Now, something we are going to be doing with that is just the absolute authority on the routemaster model, Dave Say, has got a method of installing that roof that makes life a lot easier, where you basically break it down into 3 parts, because attaching those poles inside is a nightmare. You've got a gap about this big, you need tweezers, and doing it this way apparently is a lot easier. So we're going to give that a crack. So big thanks to Dave for that. I have also managed to source all of the figures for the bus. So I've got all 9 of the passengers and the driver, the conductor for the bus. Now is the time they need to go in, because once they're in and sealed in. So we'll be doing that as well, tidying up the electrics and whatnot in pack 10, and then pack 11 we'll do a separate video for. But it's a lot to do. It's going to start getting difficult to film because it's a big old bus now. But we'll see how we get on. So let's crack this open, and let's start with part, I believe, 91. So here we are with 91. Nothing overly complicated with this. We don't need to bring the big bus up. We've got some windows to install in here. We've got bars going on the side of the bus. Some handles, some screws. We've done this. Things that are very similar to this before. We're going to install these windows in, we're going to lock them in place. This doesn't attach to the bus yet, so we don't need to bring up the main unit until 92, but I'm going to crack on, get this built, and we'll take a look at it. Is that one complete? I mean, simple enough. We've done this before. We've added windows to it. We've made the bar. We add this to the bus. This is just push to fit. I'm not doing it yet until we bring the main bus up. So let's move on to part 92. So here's everything with 92, and it's more of the same. We're going to be adding these windows and the frames into this. We're then going to attach this one to the part which is made in 91. Then we're going to attach it to the side of the bus. I'm going to make as much as possible before bringing the bus up, because again, it's big, it takes up a lot of workspace. Then we'll add it all together. So I mean, again, I've done these windows so many times, it's easier for me to just get this done rather than see me screwing more windows into this, because that's all we're doing. And then when we put this together, bring the bus up, I'll show you adding it to the bus. So there we are, that's 91 and 92 together. It's just more of the same. We're just putting these windows in, screwing them in place, and then we use 3 FM screws to screw this together. Yeah, nothing overly exciting. So I mean, I don't want to go into, watch me screw a window in, because we've done it so many times. But those are the first 2 done. So let's move on to 93, which I think we're building the door to the cab. Okay, so that's that installed on this side now. So there we go. Put this in, you can see my people are in the bus. Got a football fan over there. Got a beatnik couple at the back there. Got our old lady. Got our businessman. Got our driver. And we've also, on the back, there will be a conductor and a 60s lady. Anyway, let's move on to pack 92. Here's everything comes to pack 93. It's quite simple. We're going to attach this window inside here, screw these together, attach those out, and then it is going to slide in here. Now we're going to have to lift the deck, slot it in, because it's going to have to sit underneath this in the channel there. So I'll get that done. And there we have it. Simple enough. I mean, again, easy to install, easy to fit. There we go. Now again, we've not fully attached top deck to bottom deck at the moment, so a little gappy, little wobbly, but once that comes together, that'll be absolutely fine. Let's move on to 94. And there we have it. That's installed to this side of the bus. So we've put a lot of screws in this to hold it on. That's now nicely in place. We've also added this piece here. You can see our door is now sliding nicely. Looking good, right? Okay, on to 95. So here's 95 again. It's more windows, more bars. Now, they don't actually want us to install this one. So I'm just going to build it. They say don't install it in this stage. I'm guessing because we've got to tie these wires and do a few bits and pieces with that. I've put the bar in already that comes with this. But we're just building this for this stage. We're not actually attaching it to the bus. So I'm just going to build it. We'll take a look at the end. That's that one all built. I mean, just simple enough. The windows go in. But again, they don't want us to attach this one. Now you can see the magnets here which will hold on the cover to cover the battery box. But that's it. That's all we're doing in this one. Moving on to 96. Here's everything we get with 96. Now, this is the stage where you attach the ceiling to the bus. I've already done it. I'll explain how and why I didn't film it at the end, but I'll explain how I did this. So mine's already attached. This whole section comes off everything. At the end, we'll have a chat and I'll explain why it wasn't filmed and how I did it. But in this one, all we're going to do is we're going to assemble this rear wall of the bus with the number plate. I don't think it fits in this one, but we'll take a look. There we are with our back frame complete. And got a lovely license plate on there, and we've got the brake light in there as well. And there you go. That's where we are. Now, we're not actually attaching this, isn't attached or anything. We're not attaching this in this stage. So now we are moving on to 57, I think. 58, possibly. Okay, this is stage 97. I don't know why I was talking about 57. Oh, what's wrong with me? And we got our first roof panel there. We've got some weather guards there. Those cover the windows, so every window has a weather guard over it. And that's what we're going to be doing. But we are going to be attaching the back panel to the bus. Now, to do that, they want you to turn the bus upside down. That ain't happening. This thing weighs too much. I'm also not going to lie on its side either. So the plan is I'm going to hang it off the back of my desk. The bus is front heavy. So I'm going to hang just the back section, tiny part of the back section off the back, just so I can get underneath, like I was jacking up a car, and install the screws that way. So there we have it. That's installed. That's our first one on, and it's quite easy. We've got this trim here. You have to bend it. Don't bend it before. Just put the screw in, curve it round, screw it in place. That's it for that one. But that's our first proper roof panel on now. And really rather lovely it's looking too. Okay, let's move on to the next stage. So in this stage, we've tied up the wires. That took me forever. I didn't film me tidying the wires, but that took me a long time. But all the wires to them, and now we've got this frame on. We've got all of the weather protectors on as well. And the last thing we're going to do is we are going to insert this next panel in place. We're just going to put the screws in for this one. They're asking us not to put the trim on. So I'm going to get it screwed in place. We'll take a look. So that's it. That's that one screwed in. It's looking really rather lovely. This, if you're thinking, oh God, that's ugly. It is ugly. There is a strip that covers all this over, so I'm not too panicked about that. But the next one, we're putting another panel in here. So it's same again. And then we're going to run some strips along here. So again, I'm just going to get that done and we'll take a look. So the third panel on, I'll zoom out so you can see. I mean, it's really coming to life now. It is gorgeous with these panels. I can't wait to see this whole thing paneled because this is looking absolutely beautiful. We put these strips on along here, you can see. Simple enough, just NM screws hold them all in place. It's hard for me to film now, unfortunately, because of how big this is. But it's literally just screws. That's all we're doing. We're just screwing these strips in place with NM screws, and that's it. And it's really coming to life. And I'll show you some of my passengers if I can. If we can light this one up. You can see I've got my beatnik couple hanging out at the back there. We've got our schoolboy just there. We got a football fan possibly on his way to the '66 World Cup final. Who knows? Got a driver down there. Businessman there. We have our old lady there. We have it, as I said, we've got the conductor and we've got 60s girls going as well, but I love this thing. This is absolutely beautiful. It really is. And it really is coming to life. Next, this is the last part to finish off the pack. This is just some detailing for the front. Again, it's getting very hard for me to film this. So I'm going to attach at the front. We'll take a look at what it looks like at the end. So here you can see we put this trim along here. There's our football fan there. And we've put this trim on the front. And we've put trim on the side. They've asked us only to put 3 screws in the front of this thing. No idea why, but they have. That would be an anxiety nightmare for me if I had to wait a whole month. But I don't. I've got pack 11 here. So I'll be doing that imminently. Let's have a chat. that's the end of stage 10. I mean, it's massive now. You can see it's here, so it's blocking my camera as well. It's absolutely huge, and it is gorgeous. It really is a beautiful thing. That paneling really is bringing it to life. And I'm sorry that I'm not being able to show you as much of the build. It's taken up the entire workbench now, and flipping this thing and turning it around. And I mean, fortunately, the bulk of this is literally apply piece, insert screws. That's all we're really doing now, because we've kind of built the bus. All we're really doing is add in detail. So I mean, you're not really missing much. All you're missing is watching me screw in. I mean, each of those panels took 23 screws. So I mean, I've saved you watching me screw in, what's that, 72 screws over those panels. So you're really not missing much. But it is looking lovely. It really is. And I'm very, very happy with that. The passengers are looking good in there now. All my electrics are working, which is an absolute relief. So I'm happy, touch wood, we're good to go. Pack 11 I've got, so I am going to be moving on to that pretty much imminently. Let's get this wire out of the way. I can move on that pretty much immediately. Get out of the way, pretty much immediately. And then that's it. So come November, Pack 12 will be here, and this will be finished. So what we're doing in 11 is the back end of the bus, basically. I mean, that's what needs the most work done to it. The back end is still completely exposed. It doesn't have the frame on it. We've got the frame, so we've made the frame for the back end, but it isn't on yet, so we're going to have to put the indicator lights in here and things like that. The brake lights, sorry. Paneling on here, and the destination board and some of those LED lights strips are going to go on there. But that's it. So we are coming very, very close to the end. So in 11, we're going to finish off the actual bus. And then Pack 12 is pure paneling. That's all it is. So literally Pack 12 is just an absolute ton of panels, and the stickers to the side, and there are some indicators that stick out either side of the bus, but that's it. We are going to be done, and I can't wait, because this is a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to see it in its full glory. But that's it. We will be back very, very soon with part 11. Other things coming off the channel this week. We hopefully will have the next 4 issues of Titanic up later in the week, much later in the week. If they're going to come, it's going to be Friday, Saturday. So that'll be much later in the week. But that's it. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us massively in a world where you can be anything at all. Just be nice, and I will catch you on the next one.